It's time for the ladies, ladies, ladies. It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat crew. It's time for the ladies, ladies, ladies. It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat crew. L-A-D-E-I-S, I-E-S, I-E-S, L-A-D-E-I-S, and we're up first. L-A-D-E-I-S, I-E-S, I-E-S, L-A-D-E-I-S, and we're up first.
Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great.
And we're up first.
Bonjour, Unbossed. Bonjour, Unbossed. Bonjour, Unbossed.
And we're up first.
Yes, ladies. That's dope.
Yes, ladies.
That's dope.
Yes, ladies.
That's dope.
And we're up first. It's time for the ladies, ladies, ladies. It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat crew. It's time for the ladies, ladies, ladies. It's the Ladies First Chit-Chat crew.
One time for the ladies in the house. Two time make the people scream and shout. Michelle, Chondra, Crystal with Nikki. Unbossed, Edmee, and Nikki.
L-A-D-E-I-S, I-E-S, I-E-S, L-A-D-E-I-S, and we're up first. L-A-D-E-I-S, I-E-S, I-E-S, L-A-D-E-I-S, and we're up first. Hello.
Oh, good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
How you doing?
Morning.
Good. How are you?
Good now that I'm with all of you.
I'm glad we're together.
I'm okay this morning. I'm like,
Even watching that video, it just brought back such pleasant, fun memories. Like, it's what I needed right now.
oh, yay.
I love that.
Well,
I
I'm going to
love that.
say this. I'm going to say this. Welcome to the Ladies First Chit-Chat crew, where we honor the voice of the everyday woman.
Everyday woman.
About doing everyday woman. Chandra, you looking real. I told you as I get older, I look at Chandra's face and I go like this. It's right here. It's right. I just want to go right here.
Oh, believe me, I got years on you, so yes.
I was taking that collagen and I love it. Love it. And
Right.
I ran out. So I was busy. That word I do not like. Give it from
Right.
the salsa that I think
That's right.
on my collagen. Well, guess what?
Yes.
I'm about to re-up on this collagen because
Yes.
like I said the other day, it's saucer time. It is saucer time.
Amen.
It is
All day,
saucer
every day.
time.
I gotta figure out
Yes.
the collagen thing.
And that-
I need to buy it the way y'all have it because I went and bought pills and I didn't realize that you had to take like 6 pills.
Oh,
Well,
that's a lot.
And that's not good. And on top of that, like I was done with the bottle before I knew it.
Right. Because 6
I
pills
need
is a
to
lot.
do the way y'all are doing it because I want those results too. But
Chandra was
do they
doing
make
the
my gummies?
Chandra was doing a Modere. I got a sample of the Modere, and that's what I'm about to order. So I'll tell you about it.
That's what I use.
Yeah. So that's what I'm.
I love it.
I
love
too.
it. It definitely is giving me a different glow.
You look
Yeah.
really, really pretty with those
And
foods.
I was having a really nice glow, and then like I hadn't had it for like 3 months, and all of a sudden I'm like,
Y'all are funny. All due to the collagen.
whatever.
We need it.
We really do. But guess what? She's here.
Yeah.
There she goes.
Hey, Chrissy.
How you doing?
Looking very much like you from the boogie down, honey. You got your braids to the side, your bamboos.
She got her bamboo
That's right.
earrings.
I know. What's up, Katrina? How you doing? Katrina said hi, you guys. Before we get started, you guys know, I guess you can see it's 5 of us today, but we got to shout out someone really special.
Yeah.
Hi, girl.
Happy birthday! Yay. Oh, that's really pretty.
That is a great photo.
Edmee, those of you, our viewers that don't know, Edmee is the GM of a boutique gym here in Manhattan on the Upper East Side. You know, the weather's beautiful today. They're having a huge event at her gym today. So she is there on her birthday, making sure she gets to make sure everything is running right.
Yes.
So
yes,
she is watching us. We love you, Edmee. Happy birthday. Have an amazing day. We miss you. And it just, you know, when I think about birthdays, wow, I wasn't even gonna do this. It actually kind of goes into what we're talking about today. You know, a lot of times when we do birthdays, we think about the best things that ever happened to us and the best times that ever happened to us. And I can truly say that one of the best I've ever had revolves around my birthday. You know, today's show is about the best I've ever had, the best vacation, the best meal, all the things we talked about this weekend. And I wasn't even really going into this yet, but it just hit me. We talked about how experiences are really big, I know, for me, and that revolves around the best I ever had. And I have to say that one of the best experiences that I experienced this year was the ladies' first Chit-Chat crew takeover for my birthday. I felt extremely loved. It was just an amazing experience. And I like surprises. I like good surprises, not bad surprises on a bad day on a motorcycle. I don't like those kind of surprises. But I like good surprises. So that's one of the best surprises I have ever had, and one of the most meaningful experiences, especially this year. So I thank you guys for that. And let's jump into it. Crystal, how you doing today? Tell us how you feeling, and then just give us a blurb about one of the best things you've ever had. And then we're going to get into it with everybody else. Can you hear us? We can't hear you. We're gonna come back because you look cute from the Boogie Down Bronx. Okay. Shelly Shell, LL Cool Shells with the shoulders out. Hey.
I love a shoulder. You know I love a shoulder. Listen, I don't know if I've said this publicly on the show. I know I've said it to y'all. But for us women who are moving through life and getting better with age, shoulders are the things that don't wrinkle or sag. So use them. Okay? Right. That's right. I'm doing really good. Good morning. I'm happy to be here with y'all as always. I'm feeling fine. I feel like I'm looking fine. I got my African jewelry on. I got my ankh with me. Yes. But there's so many bests. But I'm going to give the best chance encounter I ever had. I thought about this morning. My best chance encounter ever was when I sat on a speaker, a gigantic speaker, at the Palladium in New York City, next to Prince, as we watched D'Angelo perform. Or was it Soul to Soul? I was doing press for both of them. It was either D'Angelo or Soul to Soul. It didn't matter who was on the stage because I was sitting next to Prince. I didn't quite realize it was Prince at first because he had a hood on and he was real small. Me, him, and another person was sitting on the speakers, which we shouldn't have been. But it was just the best chance encounter. And I kind of suspected And then he got down and the woman that was there got down and I was up there alone and then someone joined me. And then like 5 minutes later, the same guy I was sitting next to was on the stage. And I was like, I was sitting next to Prince. That was the best chance encounter I ever had. And he performed for like 4 minutes. And that was the only time I ever saw him live, which is a regret I have. But that was the best chance encounter ever.
When was that?
This had to be 1994, 95. Mid-90s, for sure. Mid to late 90s. It was fantastic. Palladium, which is now a dorm for NYU, called the Palladium, but it was the Palladium down in Union Square. And it was phenomenal. So yeah, that was the best I ever had chance encounter.
I mean, you done seen Prince, Michael.
Oh yes, we'll get to that, honey, because that was fun.
I mean,
best gift I ever gave.
Wow. Okay, we're gonna get to that later.
Yes.
Wow. That is awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
Nikki, Unbossed, how you doing today, babe? Tell the people how you doing, and then just give us a blurb of the best of something.
I'm doing good. Like I said, being here with y'all this morning, this definitely it made my morning. It's making the beginning of my day. So I'm feeling really good. I was kind of dragging this morning. So between you and my coffee, all is good. I can't, my memories are not as vivid. And I'm sure there's other things that I could probably, if I really thought about, come up with the best ever. Because I was thinking there are some experiences that I probably had, like what Lachelle just described, but I'm not thinking of them. But the things that immediately, and probably that just, it's really aligned to who I am. When you start to ask the best ever, it immediately goes to things that are just like immediately, like intimately very close to me. So the best ever experience I ever had was giving birth to my daughter, right? I'll never forget when they took her out of me. And I had high-risk pregnancy. I had a high-risk pregnancy before that. I remember I was like, oh my God, all of that came out of me. I was like wide awake. She was just so big and so chunky and so everything. I was like, oh my God, that was like so alien-like too, that this thing came out of me because they cut me, and it was just amazing. So that was the best ever experience. Maybe what sticks out to me too is like my best ever trips. So I just took a trip with my daughter. I would say that was my best ever trip because I stood still and just appreciated being with her and I did it for a week. Like the busyness of life just takes away from everything. You allow it to take away from the things that really matter. And so that was my best ever trip. From a standpoint of I was still and just appreciating who I was with and where I was. But my best ever trip in terms of like what I saw and experienced was when I went to beijing. And we were there, it was below zero weather, and to watch these people dancing on the street and to go, pick out freshwater pearls and to go to the bathroom and see it's really not a bathroom, it's a hole in the ground and I got to pay for toilet paper and it's per perforation. That was an experience in itself too, and eating their authentic food. And then the last thing I'll probably mention that came to me when I was watching all of us is I'd have to say it's my best ever, even though I think it's still developing, is this women empowerment circle that we've developed amongst us. I think our relationships are, we're still at the beginning stages, even though, we're like a year in, but it hit me as I was watching everyone. This is the best ever women empowerment circle I've ever been a part of, because we actually care about each other and everyone else, about how we help each other feel whole and full and figure out how we help each other move forward. So yeah, that's my best ever.
Oh, that's wonderful. That is lovely. That is lovely.
I love that.
I ain't had to cry in a minute. That was lovely. Chandra. Look, Chandra, how you doing?
Well, praise the Lord, everybody. If you see me looking off, it isn't that I'm not. I have two screens on, and so I can see the comments from you guys, from our lovely viewers. That's why I'm always looking to my right, your left, if you're wondering. But anyway, how is I'm doing great, feeling great. I am on day 34 of my 75 days of 10 miles before 10 a.m. And I just feel great. I feel great. I've been doing it. I've completed like almost 400 miles in those 35 days. So I feel great. I'm releasing weight, and even more so, I'm just spending time with myself, and I feel good. And because I don't know if you guys remember, I was saying like I stopped kind of working out because it wasn't bringing me joy anymore. I felt like it was a chore. And so I found joy again, and I feel really, really good. So that's how my week is going. And I was sitting here thinking about my a quick best ever, and I think what comes to mind first, besides my child, like Nikki just made me think about like having my child, like that was one thing. But what comes to mind really right now is 2000, I think it was either 16 or 17. I went to the Essence Festival for the first time. And that was one of the best experiences that I have ever had. One, because I was around my people. Y'all know how I feel about my people. And two was because I've made it a bucket list thing of mine is to, whenever I can, go see a legend that I want to see in perform or whatever. Like I try and make, like Celine Dion is my next. Like I'm going to see Celine. I had tickets to see Celine, and then the shutdown happened. So I'm like, Celine is my next. But I was like, I want to see legends. I want to see Diana before she passes. I want to see Shaka. I want to see, all these people. And it just so happened that this year, I can't remember if it was 2016 or 17, but it was all about women legends in music at the Essence Festival. So it was like Diana was on the bill. Shaka Khan was on the bill. That's the year Escape came back together. Who else was there? I mean, it was like ladies first. So Queen was there. Y'all know how I feel about Queen Latifah. It was like my dream come true of like seeing back to back all these amazing legends that I love, follow, am inspired by. And so that if I had to think of something like off the top, it was like that experience was like one of a kind, on top of just Essence being an amazing event to go to, whoever's on the bill, right? So that's mine.
I love that.
That's dope. That's so dope.
I love that. Chrissy, tell the people how you doing today, and give. We're gonna talk about a many, but give one of your best you ever had.
Well, I need to say praise the Lord, everybody. Just make sure y'all can hear me. Can you hear me? I just as a explanation, my computer has been acting up a couple of days, last few days, and I'm expecting a new one. It hasn't arrived, and it just died. So I went to get my son's computer, which is actually my computer, and he's giving me an attitude about why I want it. Hello, nothing belongs to you. And
your lighting looks really good. I just have to interrupt. Your lighting looks really good.
Well,
keep
thank
talking,
you.
Keep talking.
So I'm, so everything was fine visually. I saw you guys fine, and then when you couldn't hear me, I couldn't navigate the sound with him and his attitude.
quickly enough. So I'm on my phone. So I'm glad that, I'm here. Listen, to be with you guys anywhere in any form is an honor and a blessing. So listen, I have a lot of, and is it possible to have a lot of best? I've had a lot of best, but as I was thinking about it, none of them have to do with like anything related to like money or grandiosity, right? They are, a lot of them are food. That's a problem. Can I tell you this one food thing? This is really good. It's really good. So when I was growing up, my grandmother would make chicken and dumplings, right? And you know how, like, if you have an experience like that grandparent or something like that, and they pass away, like, there's certain foods I was like, I will never eat again because I only want to eat hers, and that's it, right? So, fast forward, she's been gone over 20 years, and I'm in Cracker Barrel. I hadn't been to, it was kind of a common thing that a lot of people go to. I hadn't been there ever. When we go there, we started going there regularly, and I look on the menu. So you can go for breakfast, right? You go look on the menu, and they had chicken and dumplings, and I was like, I've never eaten chicken and dumplings other than my grandmother's, and I've never eaten them, So in a restaurant, I wouldn't even consider eating chicken and dumplings. So I lean towards the dramatic. So here we go. You're welcome. I'll say that first. You're welcome. So Mike and I sitting there, and I was like, the food comes, and it was okay. I mean, it's chicken and dumplings. Wait, let me get my pen as my fork. Okay. So I'm like, okay. Tears. Mike is sitting looking at me, almost cursed, y'all. He's like, what the is wrong with you? I was like, Jane, like, what? Grandma is chicken it. He's like, oh my God. And the freaking Cracker Barrel, you crying? But it was like, it brought her back. My eyes are tearing thinking about it. It brought her back. It brought my childhood back. It brought like everything, like taste, smell are so powerful, right? And all of a sudden I was thinking about how much I miss her, and I was like, oh my God, my son has a very similar relationship with my mom. So I was like, wow, I'm all over the place now, right? I'm thinking like, wonder Malachi will remember my mother such and such and such, whatever, all from that taste of chicken and dumplings. So girls, chicken, that was, I mean, I would say my grandmother's is the best I ever had, but that moment brought her all the way back to me, and that was a wonderful, wonderful moment of like a best for me.
I love that, Chrissy. It seems like the theme. A lot of the things revolve around experiences, and I just saw D. What's up, D? D. I just saw D made a comment about her best. She says, "I have one too. I was at the something in the water festival, and I was standing by this lady with thick hair, and then come to find out someone posted a pic and it was Beyonce. I can see you, D. What's up, conversations with D? What's up, girl?" So D said it was Beyonce. I can imagine how that would feel. And it just is
Mm-hmm.
a lot of our best has to is surrounded around experiences. I'm
Yeah.
curious. I'm gonna throw this to our life coach. Why is that,
Oh.
Shelley? Why
Ew.
the truth and the light? Why
Yes.
is that? Like from an emotional standpoint, like
Mm-hmm.
Crystal talked about food, and when you say, "Oh, the best I ever had," food, but it is surrounded around an experience. Nick talked about us, and of course, her daughter, an experience.
Mm-hmm.
Shonda talked about essence, an experience. You talked about an experience. Why is that? What is that? It's more than just, oh, we went to Jamaica. Oh, the food was great. What is that about?
And don't forget to talk about yours, Nikki.
Oh, yeah, my big one. My big one. Yes, yes, yes.
I'll tell you that the only thing, and you can, well, I say this facetiously, you can ask everybody on their deathbed, but they ain't talking usually on their deathbed. What they're doing is recounting. The only thing your mind remembers is what you feel. Right? Seriously, right? We have experiences all the time that take us through a myriad of emotions. And then we have experiences that don't trigger any emotion at all. And those are the things we don't recall, because the body is the spirit. Let me just say that. The spirit is here and has taken a physical form in order to have experiences. And the reason the spirit wants to have experiences is because it wants to feel. And that is really the thing I believe, because, you know, I'm alive right now, but the thing I believe that spirit is always yearning for, which is part of the reason, honestly, I will say I believe in reincarnation, is because the spirit is always seeking a vehicle to have experiences, because the spirit always wants to feel. Right? And so there are so many moments that have happened in all of our lives that we don't remember at all taking place. How many of y'all have run into somebody in your life and they recount some story that you were intricately a part of and you don't recall even being there? You'd be like, me? That was me?
You're so right. That's about how it made you feel. So
and if it made you feel
more.
Right. You see what I'm saying? It's like when you do or say something that impacts somebody, and then later on that person will say, oh, my life changed when Nikki said to me, and you don't even remember talking to that person. Or you certainly don't remember saying that thing. But that's what it is. Life is only about experiences, because experiences trigger feelings. And that's what the mind registers.
And that's what Crystal's story about food triggered for me. So Crystal said, your best ever was food, right? And you were laughing about it. But as you were telling your story, I don't know where I'd categorize this, but it is about how it makes you feel, because immediately I started to think, well, my best ever, it's not one, but it's holidays, right? The reason why it's holidays is because when I'm with my family, the food that's getting made, there's traditional codfish and ackee for breakfast. There's different people cooking things. Everybody thinks I can't cook, so I just help or watch or clean up or whatever the case may be, even though I can. But it's the experience of how it makes me feel and who I'm with and the food that I know that I can expect to get because it's their holiday, or it's because we're together. Like everybody knows that this is the food we want to eat. So my sister automatically knows to go get it and start making it. And so with that, I do have a relationship and having my best ever that's surrounding too around food, because it's the experience of the happiness that we know all of us are coming together. It means more than just the meal.
Yes. You know what's funny? Go ahead. Go ahead. Look at us. We're like, wait. I have something.
So I have something that just helped me, because my son don't care anything about food, right? He's slim naturally, and he eats when there's nothing else to do, right? If there's play involved or anything, skateboarding, bike riding, hanging, basketball, whatever. He's also 14, but he will eat at the end of everything else. As a mom, and as we're describing how food can be and has been, a connector for so many things for me, like it's love, right? When I'm preparing something, I know this is his favorite meal or whatever. Like I feel like I'm not wanting that, but it's very, I think I'm expecting that. That's another thing. That's a different show. You can't expect people to react the way you want, right? But it's love to me. And then I want to say, he's like, yeah, he's fine. He's like, oh, then he'll look at me. I'll be like, do you like the mac and cheese? I love it. Then he'll look at me. It's amazing, mommy. I really love this. That's for me. It's not about the mac and cheese. Like, I think later on he'll be like, "Oh, I love my mother's mac and cheese," but in the moment, I wasn't thinking about my grandmother's chicken and dumplings. I was just like, whatever. I didn't realize how dope they were until, but it was the transport to being held in her arms, or the way that she smells, or
The experience
what I
that
mean?
triggers the emotion.
Getting ready for Easter and how she loved
Yeah.
Easter. All of that stuff was in the dumpling,
Chicken and dumplings. Yep.
right?
And because you smelt the hot comb on the stove, Crystal.
All of that.
Yes.
I heard my edges popping like bacon when my cousin Shelly be pressing your hair for Sunday. It's sizzling, sizzling. And I always thought, I was like, you traumatized. I was like, you was a mean teenager girl. You traumatized us. But all of that was in the chicken and dumplings, right?
Yes.
And you start thinking about, like, wow, like, I can smell my grandmother in my mind, right? And I just was like, that's why I'm like, Malachi, you hungry? And he's like, no, I'm good. I'm like, you don't know what you're doing to me. But it's all of that. It's all of that.
And go ahead, Chandra. I know you were. Go ahead.
No, it's okay, because I'm gonna say something different. So go ahead, finish your thought.
It made me, when Lachelle said that, and the experiences, and I know I share with you guys, I like experiences, and I think about, I know why I like experiences based off of what you just said, Shelly. When I think about my best ever, I always tell Billy, babe, I'm so simple. Prime example, the takeover meant so much to me. You just put a card up, or we do a little food on the floor, because my mother provided these experiences when I was a kid. I used to think, I didn't know, look, if she watched it, she'd be like, why do you say that? I thought we were rich when I was growing up.
Me too. Me too.
I thought we were like, I didn't know we were just, because mom always provided these experiences. It wasn't until I got older I found out, they didn't cost much. They were free, but she made them so special. It's the reason why I like to walk in the park. It's the reason why, I'm thinking about all those things. It's the reason why the New Edition experience. It wasn't until Shelly just said that all of a sudden I realized maybe part of the reasons, even though I love, Ronnie, Bobby, Ricky, and Mike, and, even though, and Johnny, I love them so much, but I'm thinking maybe part of the reason I love them so much, because it was one of the first albums my mom took me to the store to get. She made it an experience. We went to the concert. It was an experience. When the New Edition show, the New Edition movie was on BET, I'm over here about to cry over these little boys. That's not the real thing, because I'm thinking about when I went to the concert with my mom and the album she bought me. So with Shelly, it wasn't until you just said that maybe
It was how you felt
and stuff is connected to my relationship
with your mother.
My mom.
It is.
I thought about that.
Oh, absolutely. That's what I was thinking when you said that too, Shelly. It actually made me think about Autumn's grandfather. He was an exceptional person, like just one of a kind. But he always asked questions like, what is the earliest memory you have? Because he believes that people can remember off of experience and feeling as young as one, whatever. So they recorded him talking, before he passed away. They recorded him talking. He was 80, 85 or something like that. And he was giving memories when he was 1 and 2 years old. And it wasn't memories oh, you saw a picture and that, no, it was detailed feelings that he felt, when his mom did XYZ and whatever, and me and Autumn always talk about it, how can you remember something that young? And I was telling her, even though it's something that, my nephew passed away, and I have he has 4 other siblings now, that are young. And that is something, even though it's a negative connotation to it. Like, they are forever going to remember the feeling they felt at 4, 3 years
Yep.
old when their brother passed away. You know what I
Yep.
mean? And so I just think about it all the time. I'm like, it doesn't matter how old you are. It just matters what you feel and how you feel. Like, I can, when I think about things like that, like, I can go back to memories when I was really, really, really young, and things that made me feel great and things that didn't make me feel that as great. But now, like, jogging memory about it, I'm like, it's the feeling. That's why I remember it. That's why
Yes.
it's stuck with me.
Yep. The feeling.
But I was just thinking, it made me think about Autumn's grandfather, because I was just like, wow, his earliest memory that he recorded on audio was like 1 years old.
That's remarkable. You know what this is bringing up for me? And let me see if I can put this into words, because I think this is going to be really important for all of us. The way that Crystal described the chicken and biscuits, dumplings, chicken and dumplings, right? And how the bite of that brought back all of the experiences that gave her all of these best ever moments. The chicken and dumplings, right? The memory of Autumn's grandfather at 1, that's like your internal vision board. It's like the vision board is meant to hold the best you can imagine, the best you ever had, right? That's what your vision board is supposed to manifest into, the best you ever had. But if you think about this, we are every day in our lives having these experiences and exchanges with people that are going to bring forward emotions that are going to encapsulate something. And it's really on us to make sure that we are present and encapsulating the best we ever had of anything, and making sure that we are not storing all the other stuff, right? It's like our whole life should be a series of the best we ever had. And when you take on an action like creating a vision board, you're intentionally setting forth this intention to have a life full of the best I ever anything. But what I don't want us to lose sight of is that every moment of our day, when your grandmother hugs you and you see what she smells like, when your mother walks you to the record store, you are experiencing the best you ever had. And we have to encapsulate, and that's what, like, our mind automatically encapsulates it into a vision board called Chicken and Dumplings, into a group called New Edition. Like, it is like we're automatically creating these places to hold the best of, because that's what life is meant to be. Our entire life is meant to be a series of the best of.
I have to tell you, right before you said that, I was already thinking I need to create a list to consciously go after creating or experiencing the best I ever had, right before you started speaking that. And it's funny, if you recall last week, I even talked about when I had the trip with my daughter, like, that set a whole new standard of, like, this is how life is supposed to be. Like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing on a regular. How did I miss out on that for all these years? Just even treating myself that way. But you hit it right on the head, Lachelle, because I was just sitting here thinking,
yeah, it gave me chills.
Create a list. And
that gave me chills. That's why I was like, wait,
you're right. What we're doing right now, that has set this is where we are. We should be striving to do more. Or to make it a standard.
And it's I'm with you. Like, I got tears in my eyes.
Me too.
And I'm like over here like, I have tears in my eyes, and making that list, and I don't know, that internal vision board. And I think about, I'm really about to cry. I can't even talk. I think this the best I've ever had, and I think about the experiences, and I talk about all of a sudden I realize that New Edition is connected to my mother. The reason I like the Science Museum because it's connected to my mother. The reason I like simple things, I ain't gonna tell. I like a Louis Vuitton purse and all that stuff too. But I don't. I used to always tell Billy, not that I don't need all that. That stuff is great, but I like the simple things because, and it's connected to love. It's connected to love. It's connected to feeling love. And woo, ooh, John, you don't have to keep me by myself. Let me see the girls.
Let me tell you. Let me
I-
say this. When you said the simple things, Nikki, the simple things is connected to your soul.
Yeah. And
It's the only thing that matters.
Yeah.
This conversation makes you calibrate everything in your life, right? Because if that's the best you've ever had, there are so many areas, I'm sure, where you want more.
Right.
Yep.
Let me tell you, I'm bring some comic relief real quick. Everybody has their trash TV that they watch, or their like brainless TV that they watch, or whatever. So mine is the Kardashians. Judge me, I don't care.
I like it too.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Judge me, I don't care. But it got kind of serious because this is their last their last season, and unfortunately, Kim and Kanye are breaking up, or have broken up. But Kim said something that resonated so deeply with me on one of those shows. And she said that exactly what we're talking about here. She was like, I have created a life for me that is like amazing. I have all the finest. I can go anywhere in the world I want to go. I can have any experience I want. She was like, but I don't have any of the small things. I don't have any of the intimate things. I don't have anything that, like, my husband doesn't just come in and like kiss me on my forehead and like, I don't have like the small things that hold true that I can like go into a jar and like, oh my God, this is like a memory that I need to like get me through right now. Everything is extravagant. Everything is like to the highest degree. And she was like, I'm at a point in my life that I want the small things so that I can have smaller things to get me through. That I can teach my kids that it doesn't take all of this extra to live a life that you want. She was like, the small things count too. And she was like, everybody around me is so grand and like, wanting these super extravagant things. And she was like, been there, done that now. Like I'm ready for the small things. When she said that, I was like, girl, that resonated with me. Like something crazy.
But the thing is, none of us mentioned things that have to do with grandiosity, really. And even Nikki, when you were talking about your vacation last week, the experiences is what really were prominent. You just happened to have been on vacation, but it was all about how it made you feel, to Michelle's point, right? And I'm thinking the best whatever fill in the blank. Chandra, were you talking about people you've seen, Shaka, Gladys Knight, also? And as you were going down the list, I was like, I've seen them all. I grew up in the music industry from my entire life. My parents were in the music industry before I was born. So there's probably no one that I wanted to see that I haven't. And that's been fine and great. But none of those things came up when I was thinking about my best. None of them, right? But I do think, Nikki, like it's something. Maybe this is not the best per se, but I remember being excited about like back to school night when your mom could come, your parents could come, because
Yes.
May James didn't just come looking like any old kind of way.
Honey, it
When
was
when
padded,
she came,
padded.
it was hair, it was lashes. One time she came dressed just like me. We had the same little jean skirt on with the jean jacket, and I
I
had my two
remember.
ponytails, and she had. I mean, she came through. We come through, right? And I remember, I just remember feeling like they was like, "Whose mother is that?" I was like, you know what I mean? I used
You
to love
felt
when she would.
pride.
But that was just like, she's beautiful and she's mine, and I get to be with her whenever I want. And I
Yeah.
think that, it's so funny. We just started out talking about the best, but how we could go on for hours talking about these incredible experiences. And then to your point, Chandra, there's stuff that you don't want to remember, you know what I mean? That you do. But when we were talking about this, the best, I got like we could do a series. We could do a food series. There's food again. We could do a we could do
But you know,
5 weeks of this.
it's an interesting factor because I feel like it also goes in hand with what I've talked about before about like our culture and our the generations of Black women or women in general of like not passing down stories or like not capsulizing these moments, and it makes me think of food. And Autumn's mom, she was an amazing cook, but she never wrote down her recipes. And that was like her family, like love, like we loved being in the kitchen with her. We loved making her food. We loved the taste that her food made, the love that she put into it. But we don't know any of her recipes. So when
But you still know how you felt. But you
but you
still know
still
the
know how you
feeling.
felt. So let me tell you this: when her mom passed away, Autumn wouldn't cook. She just felt like that was something that just kind of stripped from her for a little bit. She wouldn't cook. And I'm getting emotional. And then she was like, I just want to taste my mom's pie, like my mom's sweet potato pie. I just want my mom's sweet potato pie. And so she kept, for months and months, she kept trying to recreate. Like, she just was like, I need to like tunnel vision and like remember, like, try and figure it out, like, well, all the ingredients. And it took her a while. Her mom passed in 2016. She didn't figure out the recipe or the way to do it until like almost 2000 to when Callie was born, 2018. And it was the first time she cooked. And the face she made when she tasted that pie, and it was like what you said, Chrissy. She was like her tears just fell down her face. She was like, I figured it out. This tastes just like mom. Like, mom, like, thank you, mom. She was like, thank you, mom, because she figured it out. But I was just telling, I was like, it's so amazing, like having the experiences and all the things, but it's something about documenting it. And that is what I feel about like that's why I think I got chills with the vision board aspect of it, because it's a visual documentation of these amazing experiences or these feelings that we want to have. I'm like, I keep telling Autumn now, I'm like, the things that you do, I'm like, write it down, audio tape it, like just get it down so that you can have that to pass on to somebody else. And so it just made me think about when she finally, was able to replicate the pie of her mom. It was just like, now I have the actual product to go with the feeling that I know and love so much,
Oh, I love that. In my family, you guys maybe heard me talk about an apple cake. My Whitney's mom made this apple cake, and we've kept it in our family. And I love that Billy always wants me to make it. And I it's funny, Chondra. I think for a while I didn't make it because it's like I wanted to feel her, but I wasn't ready to feel her. And now I'm so gracious that recipe, I mean, we have it. It's all, I have a picture of it now because you can see the crusted flour on it and the old apples that won't come out the recipe to see it. But I'm so grateful that I do have that. And I can continue to keep that in our family because it's an experience and it represents love. One of the things us talking about the best we ever had, and I'm realizing that my mom's connected to New Edition and everything that I liked. And I was thinking about when Shelly had asked us our favorite movie, I wrote down 2, and it's really 3. And I remember when she sent it to us, I was embarrassed because I got like tight throat. And I wrote the 3 down. I was like, I can't send 3, send 1, I'll send 2. But they're all connected to my mom. The first movie I went to with my mom in the thing, that's why I get popcorn to this day, was E.T. I was 5. And then we went to see Annie. And then she took me to see The Color Purple at 7 or 8. And we think I was a little too young to see it at the time. But it's one of my favorite movies to this day. But it's connected to my mom. And I think I'm sitting here like, why are you so emotional? It's connected to why I want to have a child. Because I want to be able to give that my god sister Lori just had a baby last night, and I'm so excited. I feel like it's mine. She's 47, first child. And I think that as I'm talking, I'm like, why am I about to cry? I'm ready to
pass it on.
Yeah, I think that's why I'm so giving to my clients, and I'm looking at my theater kids. Why I'm so I'm a little OD, to be honest with you. But I think it's because I'm longing to share that experience. I want Malachi to say, "Yeah, Mom, I love your macaroni and cheese." I want.
And he does. He just don't care about food. But I was going to say, I definitely can see that. I can see, being the recipient of some of the things that we described, wanting to continue that. That's where Autumn's tears came from, right? Because part of it is the connection and the memory of her mom. But now, guess what Callie can have?
Callie gets to have that.
That's exactly what it was. She was just like, her deepest hurt is that her mom won't never, meet our children. But she was like, the also the deepest like joy is that she is passing her mom on through her, through experiences, through cooking, because that was their thing, cooking. Like they can cook any type of meal. Yeah, I mean, y'all that have experience Autumn's cooking, like she can cook anything. And that was how they show love, through the kitchen, and she wants to be able to pass that down, but through the way her mom did it, putting her spin on it. But she is just so enamored and in love with the way that her grandmother cooked, her mother cooked, like this, the family line, that she was just like, this is what I want to pass down to
But
Callie.
check this out. Sometimes it happens in different ways, because my grandmother, hers was food, right? With my mother, I mean, we have plenty, but ours is hair.
Yeah.
Let me tell you what happens. I don't know if she's watching. She's probably not. If I get some new hair, I'm gonna put it on and FaceTime May Jane, because you got to see this girl. You got to see this hair I just got, and she does, and she.
Oh no! What happened?
There she goes. Oh, I don't know what's happening.
Oh no!
You're muted. Nick.
Crystal gonna come back and talk
about it. Was good.
I know. I was like, girl, I know.
I would have put up what Rosalind put. Rosalind said, currently I'm in my Myrtle Beach home listening. As a child, my parents brought me here. Why am I about to cry? For the summer? And my dad built a house, and I still come 2 weeks out of the summer. Best trip I ever had, and still,
the connection. It's the emotional connection.
Yeah. Yeah, it's beautiful.
Let me tell you, the way we make others feel by showing up with whatever it is that is inside of us is our legacy. That's your legacy. Go on with the hair, May James.
Go ahead with the hair, May James.
I was like, okay, look, this is funny. So we would walk around the beauty supply store for like 2 hours, right? We lived in Queens. The beauty supply store that had the black stuff was in Lafayette City. We lived in a different, so we would take a cab to the beauty supply store. They weren't as plentiful as they are now, and we walk around like that's what we would do, right? And we could still do that. And it doesn't matter if I need something from there. It's like I can find something in the beauty supply. That's our thing. Now, I'm not able to do that with Malachi, but guess what we do? What y'all saw on that video. Malachi can go downstairs, and you saw the video where he was playing the couch, He was playing on the sofa with he could play with forks on the kitchen table. And he'll start, and I'll be like, 2 years ago, a friend of mine asked me to. That's what we do, though, right? And so when I'm with my mother, she'll be like, do what y'all do. I said, what's that? Because you know what y'all do. But that's what, so his memory with his kids are probably going to be like, yo, go get your grandmother so we can spit real quick.
But that's great. It's not gonna be macaroni and cheese.
It's not gonna, because it might be because he's like, no, mommy, your mac and cheese is so I gotta get out my feelings thinking that he don't like it. He just don't care about food.
He like that. That's the other thing that's you know?
Right.
I love it.
Watch. Malachi gonna bring home a girl with bamboo earrings at least.
Can you imagine?
I'm gonna be like, I loved you from bamboo earrings.
Hilarious. No, I love stuff like this, these conversations, because it really just, brings up
It does.
Fond memories good. And fond feelings, and it does. It feels great. It feels like love.
But your best ever are the things that you're supposed to focus on when life around you is not going as you plan.
Ooh, yes. Say it again.
Because when things get rough, go off course, whatever you want to call it, right? Go wrong, go bad, make a left turn, we're supposed to make a right. When all that stuff happens, that's life happening, right? And you're living life. But we really tend to we jump right on focusing on those things that aren't going our way. And when things aren't going your way, what you're supposed to do is go make your mama's pie. Go get your grandmama's chicken and dumplings at the Waffle House, right? Go bang on the drums and rap with your child. Like, you're supposed to cling to the best you ever had. That's why you have it. We're here to have a series of phenomenal experiences. And other things will happen around you for sure. That doesn't mean that has to be what you carry and what you take with you, right? It's like, my car, at one point in my life, my car got stolen 3 different times in my neighborhood.
No.
And twice I was heading to the airport. So what did I do? I was like, my car's not here. Did I put it somewhere else? Nope, I think it's been stolen. Taxi. And I just got in a cab and went to the airport, right? And when I get where I'm going, I make a call and I'm like, Mom, they stole a car. Can you report it? Because I'm in LA or wherever I had to go. You know what I'm saying? I didn't sit there and say, why is this happening? That's life happening. I'm on my own journey, right? And so, but that's how you use those moments. That's how you use those experiences. The best you ever had in any given moment of your life is literally the way that when it starts to come to a close and you're in the winter of your life, those years where you get to just reminisce, it's like you get to relive the most amazing life again. And your spirit will carry that into the next life. And life is what you mark it to be. You're going to have a series of feelings throughout your life. And the only thing that you're meant to do as a spirit who's having this physical experience is to encapsulate all the best that you ever had. That is what you're supposed to do. And you can encapsulate it in a biscuit, in a record, in a concert, in a pair of sneakers, in a flight, in a shower. Girl, you want it in a biscuit. Who doesn't? Like, the biscuit is the perfect place to hold those best you ever had. You know what? Crystal, you need to make the best you ever had biscuits. You know what I'm saying?
I'm doing keto. I'm doing keto right now, so I can't.
All right. Well, fine. But that's what I'm saying. Like,
and you need to make them and make up with Malachi while he busts a beat and y'all rhyme. Yeah. Like, these biscuits, But
don't you feel good? I made him biscuits yesterday, but I was about to say, I feel so good.
Because we just spent an hour talking about the best.
Mm-hmm.
Like Nikki,
Mm-hmm.
Nikki Kearney makes me want to go. Ooh, I want to go take my mama on a trip. She's provided so many amazing experiences for me as I continue to work on conceiving this little one. I can take those experiences and put them to her. You know? Yeah.
Wow. That is
I mean, I
incredible.
told you last week when we were talking about travel, or the week before we were talking about travel, and I'm like, my mother has been to one place, and I've been telling her all week. My mother just celebrated her 60th birthday yesterday, and I'm just like, girl, you got to get out here, and if I got to come drag you by the toe to go somewhere, I want you to have these experiences and not live vicariously through your children anymore, or through other people's, experiences. I want you to experience it for yourself. And she was saying like, oh my gosh, my kids poor. I'm so happy that my kids are able to do for me and do things for me now, grown or whatever. And I'm like, that's what's supposed to happen. Like, you pour so much into us, you sacrifice so much for us growing up. Like, it is my honor to be able to give you something that you want, an experience that you need to have, or whatever. It is an honor for me to like pay homage to you, as my mommy, my mommy. So I'm like, let's do a mother daughter, companion, whatever trip, because Sandra Profit needs to get an experience, honey.
Done. Done.
I love it. Well, y'all, this has been another great show. Kimberly said, Crystal, she can make biscuits. I have a good keto recipe. I love it.
Come on, girl. Put it in the chat.
None is
Your
here.
girl is hurting over here.
And Maya Maya sent me a place where we could go on a trip too. Maya's going into this mansion with her girlfriends. She said we gave her an idea of what a game, an experience that they could talk about next week. I once again, it's been a wonderful Saturday morning. Thank you to our viewers for tuning in. Thank you to Lachelle, Chondra, Crystal, and Nikki, Boss, Edmee. We said happy birthday to Edmee. Let's shout her out one more time. Hold on. Let's shout out to our birthday girl.
Happy birthday,
Happy
Happy birthday.
It's been another time, and I love what Lachelle said. We get to continue to make the list of the best we've ever had and recreate it over and over and over again. What'd you say, Shelly? You said something about encapsulating. What did you say? I was trying to write it down.
You encapsulate, right, emotions, right? Experiences trigger emotions, and we're supposed to encapsulate all the best of those things.
Yeah,
that's how you make a good life.
That's amazing.
right,
Nikki, you still wait before we go. No, we gotta go. But before we go, Nikki, you have to tell your story. You never told your actual story. You alluded to it, but you never told your actual story.
Oh, it was the New Edition story. Isn't that what it was? I think it was the New
Yeah,
Edition.
but you didn't tell it.
Yes, yes.
Well, when I was 9 years old, at my first very concert that I ever been to in my life, I was a huge New Edition fan. My mama took me to go see New Edition. I remember so much the other day, Brittany said, guess who's coming to Vegas? And I said, who? Your favorite. And I said, Tina Turner. She said, favorite group. And all of a sudden I went, but I think I was more excited that she knew that was my favorite group. Why? Because of my mom.
Mm-hmm.
But I went to see New Edition. I remember what I wore. I had on pink flowered jeans, a white tank top, a pink shirt. I tied it up, and my hair was flipped up in the front and under in the back. And my mom had on this cute little hot pink outfit that she borrowed from Aunt Sibby. And we had the best time. And to this day, it is one of the best. And I've seen New Edition over and over and over again. And this is my best New Edition concert I've ever been to. And I'm realizing today, as a result of this conversation, and that it's connected to the experience that I've had with my mom. Now I do like New Edition though. Let me put that out there too. But yeah, so
Girl,
thank you.
we going to Vegas.
We going to Vegas.
Can we please? Usher's, listen, Usher's there too.
We just go. That's where we should go.
Let's just do a tour of Vegas. Let's go.
Let's go.
And let's do a show live while we're there.
Yaza, in the voice of Shelly, and Yaza.
Yeah, that's where we're going. We going to Vegas. Okay. Hey. All right, everybody. Thank you, Chondra, Michelle, Nikki, Crystal, Edmee. Thank you to the viewers. We had a wonderful day. Remember what Shelly said. We get to keep encapsulating the best we ever had. We will see you next Saturday. John, take us out. Anybody got anything quick to say? We good? All right, John, take us out, babe.
You might have to take us out, Nick.
I got it.
I hear it in my head.
I know.
Who's first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. Who's first? Ladies. What time is it? It's time for the ladies. 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 It's the ladies first Chit-Chat crew. It's time for the ladies. You want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. Speak what you want. Be great. And we're up first. Bonjour, Unbossed. Bonjour, Unbossed. Bonjour, Unbossed. And we're up first. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. Yes, ladies. That's dope. And we're up first. It's time for the ladies. Chit-Chat crew. One time for the ladies in the house. Two time make the people scream and shout. Michelle, Chondra, Crystal with Nikki. Unbossed, Edmee, and Nikki.
Hey, bye everybody. See y'all next week.